Load. Load. Load.
Test. Okay, we are back into Friendsim.
Load slot 2. Sunday.
Alright, yeah, I'll start with first.
And you'll help with the control tower. You follow along as Skyla leads you back out to the airfield. You can see Konya in the distance, walking over to inspect the rows of aircraft, spacecraft. You're not sure what the term is for when it seems to be designed for both. Skyla's quiet as you walk, her face set deep in thought. Finally, halfway toward the control tower, she stops and looks at you.
You ever take a minute to stop and think about what you're doing here?
Like, here on this weird satellite thing? Mostly trying not to die, actually.
No, I mean, what you're doing with your life. You ever stop and reflect on what it all actually means?
This is starting to feel almost uncomfortably personal. Fortunately, the idea of you actually responding to Skyla seems to be completely optional, because she continues talking without any prompting.
You ever go into something expecting it to be so different than what it ends up, and then you just don't know how to get back to how things were?
That actually does hit pretty close to home, the flash of green in front of you and the faint, lingering smell of an old house, an impossibly old house. You think you understand what she means.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I just keep turning what you said over and over in my head. You really think they're just gonna let us go? Just like that?
At this point, you're trying really hard to stay optimistic. Skyla frowns, but doesn't say anything.
It doesn't matter anyway. We can't stay here after breaking out Wolverine Mom.
You remember this building from when Marsti showed it to you, and you remember the banks of missiles nearby. Those are definitely still a thing.
There's the problem. Even if we steal a ship, we still have to get clear before one of those sends us straight to hell.
Troll hell?
What other kind of hell is there?
Sorry, that was just you trying to lighten the mood a little bit. So what's the deal with the control tower? What needs to be done to get away without being killed?
Well, we'll probably have to...
She trails off, and a look of fear crosses her face. You quickly turn around to see a familiar face glaring at you. Oh shit.
Oh, is that our data? I don't get to see her. Did she always have like this little bulb on her horns? Whatever.
I remember you.
I still don't think that voice fits.
Our data. I remember you. No, that must have been
a
different alien.
Be forgiving.
Yep. Totally not you at all. After all, she must have had so many people down in her torture basement over the sweeps.
Of course. What are you doing here?
She's still staring directly at you and completely ignoring Skyla. Finally, Skyla clears her throat and Ardata's glance snaps up. Her eyes flit over Skyla's uniform quickly.
Yes, recruit,
Korga, ma'am. I was just escorting the alien here around the base, making sure they don't get into anything they shouldn't.
Indeed. I wasn't informed of such a major deviation from my schedule prior to my arrival. I've got quite a busy schedule, and I still need to meet with your commanding officer, now that I've been personally apprised of my orders.
Yes, Captain.
Ardata, who has apparently had a major shift in career direction since you last met her, turns back to you.
Again, what are you doing here?
Yes,
Save slot. Save.
Just trying to find a way back home.
Just trying to find a way back home.
Interesting. And what exactly would that entail? Please, I'm very interested in the specifics here, if you have a few moments to discuss it in private.
You would just love to be involved in another charming romp in some form of murder dungeon, but honestly, who has the time anymore? Ardata sighs.
Tell me about it.
Before Ardata can interrogate you further, you hear a familiar chime, She quickly pulls out a sleek, black palm husk and glares.
I swear to Empress, this just keeps getting more irritating. I have to go back now. I can trust you to escort this alien back to a secure location, Recruit Koriga.
She doesn't even wait for a response before she walks off, muttering something to herself. You glance over at Skyla, and it looks like she's shaking. Is everything okay?
No, everything's not okay. You got sawdust between your ears? That was a captain in the Fleet Propaganda Division.
Okay. That means basically nothing to you. You're still acclimating here, it's only been like and all that.
Sure. Anyway, we shouldn't hang around here too much longer.
You all meet back up in the barracks. Some yelling from Konya gets rid of the trolls that sitting around talking. Skyla pulls you and Konya aside and starts speaking in a low voice.
Okay, y'all took a look around. A lot of stuff to be worried about. Control tower's gonna be guarded.
Ran into a fucking Rusty down by the plains. She thinks we're up to something.
Fuck. Well, it's not gonna be much longer before someone discovers what happened in Lucis Holden and starts asking around. You weren't exactly subtle.
You didn't fucking ask for subtle.
I mean, she does have a point.
You're not helping. We need to figure out a plan of action.
We're getting out. I thought we talked about this already.
Of course we're getting out, but we need to talk about what happens once we do that.
You're sitting here watching as these two talk back and forth, thinking about the options you have. Finally, it clicks, you need to say something. You've got valuable thoughts and opinions and are definitely not massively overstepping any boundaries. Save. Save slot 4. Save slot. Save.
Should I go back
Save
to this one?
load.
Or...
Load slot.
Yeah.
Load. Load slot.
I think all of these three will end up in the same spot, so I can get this.
So eloquently put. Have you considered trying out for the theater?
Well, you did do this kind of.
I was being condescending. It's no fun when you take everything at face value.
Before our data can interrogate you further, you hear a familiar chime. She quickly pulls out a sleek, black palm husk and glares.
I swear to Empress.
Okay.
Say. Load. Load. Load slot. Maybe trying to start some trouble.
Now that is a very loaded thing to say. Do you perhaps have any contact with certain countercultural elements that might be working in opposition to the Empire?
Your mind flashes quickly to Theseus and Stilsat, and you immediately lock that thought down. Nope. No one comes to mind. You're just generally interested in hell raising.
Interesting. Maybe you'd like to discuss that at length sometime.
Before our data can interrogate you further, you hear a familiar chime. She quickly...
Okay. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Save slot 3,
Well, we can actually just-
Monday. Save slot 4, Monday. Save. Save slot. Save.
I don't know if that's
Close.
actually going to change anything, but... actually, before
Load.
we go on there...
Load slot 2.
Let's,
Load. Load slot. And,
try this other one.
and you'll help with the airfield.
See what happens at the air.
Konya leads the way, with her Lucis circling her happily, making those small squeaking noises. If anyone has any choice words to say about the 3-foot-tall weasel that's running along with Konya, they wisely keep them to themselves. You notice that almost everyone you pass is wearing bronze or olive. Is there some reason for that? Konya shrugs.
Sure. People like us get sent down planetside. Rusties tend to get pulled for duty on the attack craft.
She gestures out at the open field behind you and the dark gray ships parked neatly in rows. Trolls move around the base of the ships, checking them and talking to each other. You notice that a lot of these trolls are wearing rust red. Wait, you thought they had drones for that kind of thing? Konya laughs at you. You kinda wish she'd stop doing that already.
Drones? You think dumbass drones could handle this stuff? The Empire needs bodies for that. Live to be a hero of the Empire, or die in glorious battle.
She frowns and shakes her head.
That's what they tell them anyway.
As she's talking to you, you notice one of those weird-looking drones rolling by, the ones that Marsty refused to tell you about. So, what's the deal with the wild-looking drones?
Military drones, built mostly for killing.
She grins. Wait a minute, weren't the other drones already built for killing? Konya shakes her head in a way that suggests you are, in fact, intensely stupid.
Yeah, right. You think regular old drones are built for battle? These are battle drones right here.
Oh, okay. Cool. Battle drones. That definitely is a cool and not terrifying concept.
It's not terrifying unless you're a coward.
You recognize the ship before you even get up close enough to read the nameplate on the side. This is Marsty's ship. She showed it to you before.
Who?
Never mind. Oh yeah, you should probably ask, does anyone know how to fly one of these? Konya gives you a steady, extremely judgmental look.
Of course I know how to fly one. What kind of mercenary doesn't know how to fly?
She snorts with laughter.
I forgot how funny you can be.
Konya walks around the far side of the ship, carefully checking it for, you have no idea. She looks very serious though, so that's probably a good sign. As she's doing this, Marsty appears from around the corner. Marsty, how's it going? What's happening? Are things good? Good in this case being a very loosely defined term.
Why are you poking around my ship?
Well, you see, the thing about that is. Quit. Save slot 3, Monday, May 8, save, close. Just curious. You grin broadly and gesture at the ship. You just love Alternian technology. Cool spaceships? The best. Weird bug phones. Rad. Giant drones that can kill you in seconds. Sweet.
Sure. That definitely sounds like the truth and not a hastily invented lie to save your ass. You know, if you wanted a tour, you could have just asked. Don't worry. I'm not gonna turn you in or anything. I'm not on board with whatever this is, but I'm not gonna sell you out either.
Speaking of ships, what's she doing over here now? She got finished in the control center already? Marsty drops her gaze.
None of your business. I have a thing I have to work on.
Hey, Rusty, who the fuck are you? Don't you know we're...
She pauses. Konya's got a lot of skills, but thinking up excuses on the fly isn't one of them.
Fuck you!
Nailed it? Marsty makes a face and shakes her head.
Elegant. I was just saying to your friend that you're here to fuck with my ship.
Konya looks like she's about to step forward and clock Marsty in the face, but you wisely decide to insert yourself between the two of them. Can't you all just get along?
Whatever. This is stupid. We've gotta go tell Skylar what we found.
Marsty's expression is an interesting combination of amused and suspicious, but she doesn't say anything else. That's good. This definitely means that she's not going to be a factor again, right?
Sure. Whatever. I've got some shit to check up on.
Fuck. Let's get out of here. I can't pull rank and me being an olive won't mean shit to anyone.
You all meet back up in the barracks. Some yelling from Konya gets rid of the trolls that sitting around talking. Skyla pulls you and Konya aside and starts speaking in a low voice.
Okay, y'all took a look around. A lot of stuff to be worried about. Control tower's gonna be guarded.
Ran into a fucking Rusty down by the plains. She thinks we're...
Okay,
Load. Load.
Let's see the
Load
option.
Honestly, looking for a way out of here. See, the thing about Alternia is, you really hate it here. Not technically here in the literal sense, since you're not currently on Alternia, but in the sense that this all sucks and you want to go home. By the way, did you mention you can get her back home?
You mentioned it already, yeah. My answer hasn't changed. Don't worry. I'm not gonna turn you in or anything. I'm not on board with whatever this is, but I'm not gonna sell you out either.
Speaking of ships, what's she doing over here now? She got finished in the control center already? Marsti drops her gaze.
None of your business. I have a thing I have to work on.
Hey, Rusty, who the fuck are you?
Load.
Last one.
Load. Trying to sabotage the Empire? You know how it is, one day you're just sitting around minding your own business, then you're embroiled in a series of actions designed to further the cause of the rebels trying to dismantle the Alternian system?
Not really sure what you mean by that. I'm not a rebel. I already told you. I'm not trading being used by one set of assholes for another. Don't worry. I'm not gonna turn you in or anything.
Speaking of ships, what's she doing over here now? She got
Okay. Yeah, let's actually continue on.
Load slot 4, load. Load slot 4.
Okay.
Tell them you can help them escape. Konya grins at you, reaching down to pet Wolverinumum on the head.
See, we're gonna get out of here now. No reason to stick around anymore.
You're getting the feeling that Konya was mostly here because she thought it would give her a chance to fight alongside her mom. Now that that's not an option anymore, the idea of leaving is pretty appealing, it seems.
Much as I hate to admit it, y'all are right. This ain't a situation we can do anything other than just walk out of. At least that way we get to save our skins as opposed to killing ourselves over nothing.
You're not sure you'd be willing to call it nothing just like that, but you can see her point. They've got people, and Lucii, depending on them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That settles it. Everyone's on board with leaving. You're getting great at explaining this, you've got the ability to warp through time and space, except you're temporarily having some trouble with that. Once you get your shit together, you'll be able to take them both to a world where the Empire doesn't even exist. That settles it.
Message. Oh,
Selected.
Yeah, I know a couple aliens. Alien Invasion of One is actually a good friend. Basically a Moira. Okay.
Selected. That settles it. They seem to take this in stride.
There's one major problem with your whole plan here.
Well, mostly in stride.
This doesn't change anything. We still need to grab a ship to get out of here. And that means taking out the damn control tower.
Plus that pilot was asking questions at the airfield. It's not gonna be easy.
Maybe. Konya's Lucis could help out. Wolverinumum starts circling and yipping excitedly.
Yeah.
If she cuts main power to the security systems and I cut the backup power, Connell can get in and...
Rip and tear. Fucking love this plan.
Yeah, that sure does sound like a plan. And how can you help? You ask eagerly.
Stay your ass here and don't touch anything.
You really don't want to be left alone in the barracks again, but Skyla and Konya aren't giving you a choice in the matter. You're sitting there, stewing in your own anxiety, when a thought occurs to you. What if Marsti's still at the control tower? You really don't think that Konya's in the mood to be particularly discriminate about who she rips into right now? Fuck, you're gotta find her, don't you? Life.
Don't worry, Mom's got this.
Life, you have no idea how much time you've got, maybe a few minutes, maybe a half hour? All you know is that it's suddenly very important that you move quickly. Life, move by clicking the left mouse and dragging, or using the arrow keys, attack with the right mouse or X key, Skyla and Konya only. Life.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're Wolverine Mom. Oh, drones.
Life, You rush by all sorts of trolls, ignoring the increasingly strange looks you're getting. You really hope that High Blood isn't around anymore. You're not sure exactly how fast Skyla and Konya are going to work, but they seem pretty determined to see this through. You're guessing you don't have a lot of time. No sign of any alarms being raised yet, so that's probably a good thing. The outside of the control tower looks undisturbed and the door is still closed. Again, probably a good thing. You pause, holding your breath, ready for anything. What's on the other side could be truly horrifying. You remember the way that Konya cut through all those smugglers that one time. It makes you feel sick to your stomach. Oh, thank God. It looks like Marsti is still here. And everyone is alive and intact.
Why wouldn't everyone be alive? Does this have something to do with why you were at the airfield?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're totally not gonna go murderizing around this entire place. I mean...
She's suspicious, but there's something about her demeanor that's changed. Life.
You're not answering my question.
Life? What question was that again?
Why wouldn't everyone be alive?
Life.
No reason. So if I get next to this tree, I can probably pop this guy as he comes around. Okay, misplayed that. You touch a wall and you stop instantly. Okay, I guess drones are invulnerable.
Once again, you manage to dodge the question with some tactful refusing to answer, and Marsti finally seems to shrug it off as just you being yourself.
What you said before about getting out, do you actually have a plan for this?
You bet. You're going to take out the control center so that they can't stop you from escaping. It's a very good plan. Marsti scowls at you.
Funny, you never struck me as very bloodthirsty. Look, I can talk to these people, convince them to stand down for a little while, conveniently not notice a single ship leaving.
Okay, that sounds like it might be a good alternative to what you've currently got going on. You just need to find Konya before she does something that you'll regret. But why does Marsti want to come with you all of a sudden?
There's a signal, out there in the wastes.
Not really very much of an explanation.
I'm getting to it if you stop interrupting. There's some kind of relay, but I don't think the Empire's fully in control. It was broadcasting a list of names, some kind of registry of people that have been assigned to one of the fleet warships that's still docked on Alternia. I recognized one of the names. Follicle Darian.
Oh, okay, yeah. Follicle, that's the one with the, like, burned out eyes, I think, isn't it? I'll have to double check. I remember they had a thing back in the old game.
Oh, okay, this is making more and more sense. Her giant, obvious crush.
Shut the fuck up. Point is, if she's assigned as permanent crew, then there's a good chance she's headed for deep space soon, and then she'll be gone. Can't exactly chase down a warship going 5 times light speed, can you?
No, that does seem pretty impossible.
So, I need to know what's happening. Even if I can't do anything, I have to at least know.
And that means she needs to get off the base?
Yeah, exactly. Guess you're not quite as stupid as you look.
Okay, awesome. You just need to go find Khan. Before you can say anything else, the lights go out.
Uh-oh.
Konya advances on where you and Marsti are hiding in the corner, illuminated by the dull glow of the emergency lighting. If you've seen anything more terrifying, you struggle to imagine what. Wait. Konya stops and blinks at you.
What the fuck are you doing in here? You were supposed to wait for us.
All around you, you can smell the blood. The bodies of the control room staff are lying everywhere. Marsti stands up and advances on Konya, her fists clenched in front of her.
You didn't have to do that! I could have talked to them! They would have understood!
Konya just shrugs and looks around. You think you see a slight flash of regret in her face.
It's done already. Let's go.
You
Marsti takes a step toward Konya and is just able to start to raise a fist before the olive blood sends out a straight jab that catches Marsti in the jaw, sending her reeling.
We don't have time for this. Come on.
From the floor, Marsti utters a long groan that sounds like it's starting to turn into a sob. She picks herself back up and walks forward again, but this time her shoulders slump and she looks over at you.
Fine. Let's go.
Marsti doesn't look at Konya as you walk out toward the airfield. She's still shaking, but she isn't trying to attack Konya again.
Don't get me wrong. It's not because I don't want to. This is a matter of practicality at this point.
What's she doing here?
Oh, yeah, that's easy. This is your good friend Marsti and she's definitely coming with us. Please don't ask additional follow-up questions.
Why are you doing this anyway, Rusty? Don't you have your little pilot crew to hang out with?
I'm not sitting here and explaining myself to you after what you did. I've got a ship you can use if you get me out into the wastes. That good enough for you?
Konya looks like she's bristling to say something back, but eventually she just shrugs and turns away.
We really gotta be going. Y'all can sort this out once we're clear.
So now what? Everything's all set, right? Just need to take an Imperial attack ship from an airfield full of guards. No big deal.
Just act like you belong there, and they won't ask questions. It ain't that hard.
Yeah, easy for her to say. You've gotten kinda used to the whole not having danger around every corner aspect of life back on Earth. You'll take a dozen post-credits coffee shop AUS over whatever the hell bullshit is going on here.
Post-credits, coffee shop, AUs? What? Yeah, whatever.
Easy now. We're just gonna take a nice casual walk over to that ship there, and then get out of here.
Life, you're not going to lie. All of the guards and drones around are making you more than a little bit nervous.
If you calm down, no one will care. They know me. I told you, I can talk to them.
Life. Life, you're almost to the ship when you hear the shout from nearby. A guard starts walking toward you. Life, she's wearing a rust red outfit similar to Marsti's. Life, but she, unlike Marsti, is holding what looks like some kind of rifle in her hands.
Hey, don't worry about it. They're with me. We're just taking the ship out for an exercise. You can check with control if you need to verify.
Life, the guard shrugs and turns away, apparently not interested in whatever's going on here.
Come on, let's go.
Life. In spite of your conviction that you'll be found out at any moment, you reach the attack ship without any further issues. Marsti quickly hops into the cockpit to start pre-flight checks as you nervously pace back and forth while Skyla and Konya watch you closely.
You need to calm the fuck down. They're gonna wonder what's happening.
You want to go in the ship, you really do, but you can't help but stand there, transfixed. You've just noticed something warm on your face. You reach up to touch it, knowing already what it is.
You done yet? We gotta go.
Yeah, That sounds like a pretty good plan, actually. You quickly jump in the cramped back of the attack ship and buckle yourself in. Your last couple jaunts in a spaceship didn't exactly end well, so you're a little bit nervous about this. Across from you, Skyla buckles herself in and calls up to the cockpit.
Hey, y'all ready to go?
Yes, just finished the pre-flight checks.
The ship lurches uncomfortably as Marcy pulls back on the control stick and hits forward on the throttle. Even with the control tower down, you've got a feeling this is gonna be close.
So they got 4 chairs. I have to assume that our Dada's going to be joining us, is my guess.
With a roar, the engine comes fully to life and you're thrown back against the padded jump seat. All of the blood rushes right to the back of your head, which is a profoundly unpleasant feeling, but definitely a lot better than dying. You can feel your grip on consciousness slipping away.
Did they not bring a Wolverine bomb?
Oh, my dear reader. Do you honestly think I can't see you?
No, this isn't right. This isn't real.
Tell me, did you ever find what you were looking for?
What you were looking for?
Not to worry. We will see each other soon enough.
Hey, you awake?
Well, you are now. You sit up with as much of a start as you can manage while strapped into the attack ship's restraints. Skyla is looking over at you, her face lined with concern.
You just kinda passed out for a minute there.
Happened when we punched out. Couldn't take the hit.
You groan and look around groggily. How long were you even out for? From what little you can see of the cockpit window, you can see the edge of the sky, the point where the atmosphere of the artificial expanse of desert and misery you were just on peels away into the cold indifference of space. Wait, why aren't you going up any higher?
We're landing a little ways up ahead, outside their defense perimeter. I've got something I need to take care of.
The ship pulls down again, thankfully with a lot less intensity than takeoff, as Marcy guides it in along the ridges and peaks of a small mountain range that you definitely don't remember seeing before. After 5 minutes of low-speed maneuvering, you feel the sudden jolt of the ship touching down on the ground. Before anyone can say anything, you're out of your seat and running to the hatch at the back of the ship. Pulling it open and jumping out, you're once again breathing the sweet air of delicious freedom, Triza. Before
Message from Triza.
selected,
You steal from the Empire, you steal from me, and you steal from her.
before anyone can say anything,
Don't get too excited. We're still not off this rock.
you know what, it doesn't even matter. You've had just about enough near-death experiences for now. You're looking forward to doing something that's a lot more low-key, maybe spending some time with an old friend who really knows how to just hang out and not get all wrapped up in an interstellar political conflict. Just chill vibes all around.
Whatever. Sounds boring as fuck to me, but whatever.
We gotta get going soon. Marcy, you good to fly us back to Alternia? Figure we can find a place to hide out while we wait for you to sort out whatever it is you need to get us out for good.
No.
What in the hell do you mean no?
Marcy doesn't respond right away. You can see her glaring at Konya as she clenches and unclenches her fist.
I mean that I'm not coming with you. Even if I'd wanted to. You think I'd come with you after what she did? I told you. I could have talked them down.
Blood staining the floor.
Go ahead and take the fucking ship. The autopilot will be enough to get you planetside. But I won't go with you.
Skyla groans and shrugs, and you realize that you're about to open your mouth and say a very stupid thing. Hey, so, you're actually planning to hang out with Marcy for a little bit longer. You're not sure why, but you have a feeling that there's something you've still gotta take care of up here.
Fine. Y'all suit yourselves, because Connell and I are gonna head down and take care of business.
You do that. I'm gonna get my things from the ship and then head out.
Hey, there's something else we need to do. Something I didn't want to talk about before. You know, on account of surveillance and everything.
Skyla narrows her eyes, but she doesn't say anything.
I need to know what's going on with Astasia. I know he's planetside doing fleet stuff, but I haven't heard from him since...
That's the total weeb one with, like, the goggles, I think, right?
She frowns, and you get a rare glimpse into her actual feelings. She's genuinely worried. Skyla notices too, and her expression softens.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll figure out where he is and see what we can do. Let's get going.
Skyla turns to you, and this time she smiles. You think back on the first time you met, on the way that you bonded over your shared love of Lucy and not being horribly burned by the Alternian sun. Just good, simple times together.
It was never actually that simple. You know that, right?
Oh crap, you're about to get one of those "you've been ignorant to the true nature of the world" speeches, aren't you?
Not really. Just that you never bothered to ask a gal what was really going through her mind. Being a friend's more than just sitting around John, you know?
You know what? Yeah. You're starting to really get the sense that your unending quest to make new friends came at the expense of actually having meaningful relationships with the ones you already had. Stupid, lousy self-reflection.
It's alright. Y'all aren't bad folk. Just a little bit naive. I appreciate everything you did for us here tonight. Matters a lot. We won't forget it.
You halfway expect her to bring it in for a hug, but instead Skyla nods at you and smiles. Next to her, Konya's face breaks into a grin as well.
Look us up the next time you're around.
Take care of yourself. I ain't gonna give you the "everything's different now" speech, but you ain't dealing with garden variety Lucis Wranglers anymore.
For a moment, you're left alone with your thoughts, and there's something that keeps coming back again and again. Did you ever find what you were looking for? What does that mean? What is it that you're looking for? Well, for one thing, you've still got a lot of your old friends to try to find. Every person you find, you get more and more worried about what'll be happening to the next one. If only you hadn't misgauged things so badly, maybe you could have avoided all this. You don't get any more time for quiet self-reflection, because Marsti shows up again, holding a small bag taken from the ship's emergency kit.
You ready to go?
You stop her. If you're going to be traipsing around with her on this godforsaken rock satellite moon thing, you need to know at least a little bit what the specific plan is. Marsti scrunches up her face for a second, but then shrugs.
Figure I'll head out and find out what the source of this transmission is. If it's the rebels, that means there's rebels nearby to babysit the signal. They'd at least give me a ride back to Alternia. Probably.
Unless it's the Empire, in which case they're more likely to just shoot you in the head, right? That seems like it's basically their style. Marsti sighs and shrugs again.
Sure. Would have ended up the same way if I'd stuck around sooner or later.
You hate to admit it, but she's absolutely right. So what's the plan now? Off on another grand adventure, just you and Marsti, back at it again?
Last time we talked, we visited the dump, and you acted like an ass.
Look, let's talk about that less, okay? The point is, you've got a big adventure to go on now?
I mean, not really. We're just checking for a radio source, and hopefully leaving with all of our limbs intact.
Adventure?
Sure. Whatever you say.
Bam! Time to bingo.
Volume 3, Lest the Dust Becomes Us. Decided to cut their losses. Writing: Jonah Uriley. Voice cast: Anna Marcus, Skyla. Bryce Hawkins. Bucky Grant, Konya. Domi, Ardata. Jonah Uriley, Scratch. Kaylee Horowitz, Marsti. Sprite Artists: Anonymous, Skyla, Konya, Marsti. Do you want to save your progress so far?
Sure.
Yeah, save.
So that's
Save slot
return
5,
the lost
empty
piece.
slot selected. Save slot 5. Save slot 2.
Salvation
Sunday.
ending?
Save slot 3. Monday, May 8th,
And I think it
2023.
was-
Save slot 4. Save. Are you? No.
No.
Load.
No.
Loads. Load. Load slot 4. Tell them
Tell
there's
them
people who
there's
can
people
help
who
them fight.
fight.
Skylar raises an eyebrow and looks at you pointedly.
You know what you're saying is crazy, right?
Crazy. No way. You know there's folks out there who don't want anything to do with the Empire, revolutionaries like Malek, folks like Stilsa and Theseus, and even if not everyone's going to outright defy the Empire, there's plenty more who'll choose not to support it. To make little cracks in the foundation that can be exploited to bring the whole system down.
I don't know about all that, but I can't say I'm a big fan of the Empire.
Her tone is even, but you can see a little spark behind her eyes, a glimmer of something that says far more than her words ever could. Konya looks like she's about to say something, but a look crosses her face and she stops herself. She looks down at Wolverinumum, who makes a quiet little chirp in response.
Yeah,
She grits her teeth and clenches both fists tightly.
I'm so fucking sick of all of this. Having to play by their fucking rules all the time. Having to wait for some fucking high blood to decide if we live or die.
Neither you nor Skyla interrupt. Konya turns to face Skyla.
You never tell me about what you're thinking. Not about this.
About what?
Don't be stupid. It's not cute. You want to go against them? Sometimes. I want to burn them to the fucking ground. Okay, fine. So you got some big plan, right?
Konya.
It's probably gonna be that same one.
Selected. Konya. Okay. Hell yeah, you've got a plan. Your plan is, stick it to the man?
Gonna be honest, that sounds like you don't actually have a plan.
Look, it's simple, everyone hates the Empire, right? It sure would be great to maybe take the Empire down a few notches, and you know there's people out there fighting them. You remember Malek, the kind of desperate energy he had when you were talking to him before. Theseus having to wipe out the records of Tajiri and Polypos' direct action. Something bigger than any one person. Konya groans and rolls her eyes.
You talk big, but we'll get shot down before we get off the ground. You forget about that?
I think I know a way that we can cover our escape and hurt the Empire at the same time. What if we blow up most of the other attack crap? That'd put a dent in their war machine and give us the window to get out of here.
You're not sure that it's entirely accurate to say that it would put much of a dent in the Empire's anything, but it seems like a good enough idea in terms.
Hell yeah! We're gonna blow their shit the fuck up!
Yeah, that.
Okay, sure. Well, there's an armory nearby that has the explosives we'll need.
Mom can get those.
Then you put them around the airfields and I'll detonate them all at once. Take everything out at the same time.
And how can you help? Konya starts laughing at you.
You stay your ass in here and don't touch anything.
You really try to do what she says, honest. But the thing is, when you've got a minute to collect your thoughts, you realize something. What if Marsti is still at the airfield? A feeling of raw panic runs through you as you jump up and run for the door. You've gotta go find her. Life.
Don't worry. Mom knows where to go.
Life. Move by clicking life.
Okay. What? Yoink.
You're not sure how much time you've got left. You're sure that the plan hasn't finished yet, because you haven't heard any explosions coming from the direction of the airfield, but for all you know Skyla's about to hit the button and turn everything into a firestorm. You don't see Konya around anywhere, also probably a good sign. You quickly run toward the back of the airfield, to where Marsty's ship was. Sure enough, you find her poking around at something, replacing an access panel and bolting it into place.
You're back. Why are you back?
That's kind of a long story that you really don't have time to get into, but the bottom line is that you need to explain things very quickly. Life.
Got the bombs. Time to get to work.
Okay, I marked off everywhere you gotta set those down. Be careful now. We want enough to cause a distraction, not trying to cook everyone.
Shut up. I know what I'm doing.
So slow. Okay, I was not trying to...
Life. Life.
Okay, looks like I gotta go back
Life.
around.
Life.
Oh, come on, you can't see Jack. Okay, I guess that's just a graphical thing. Whoops.
Life. Life.
Ah, boo.
The council.
Yeah,
Try again.
Try again.
Life.
Got the bombs.
Okay, be careful now.
Shut up.
Set.
Let's turn this.
Off. Accessibility. Help. MG friendships. Helps. Accessibility option. Story only. Easy. Access.
Yeah, I'll leave it
Close.
as is.
Life.
I can at least do that.
Life.
So,
Life.
okay, I need to... Oh, come on, you can't see me.
Life. 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 Life.
The hitboxes around these craft are weird. Alright. You look away. Boom.
What you said before about getting out, do you actually have a plan for this?
You bet. You're going to set off a series of explosives all over the airfield so you can slip out in the ensuing chaos. It's a very good plan. Marsty scowls at you.
Funny. You never struck me as very bloodthirsty. Look, I can talk to these people, convince them to stand down for a little while, conveniently not notice a single ship.
Okay, that sounds like it might be a
Alright,
good
so
alternative
basically
to what
kind of
you've
the-
currently got going on.
Same
You
thing.
just need to find Konya before she does something that you'll regret. But why does Marsty want to come with you all of a sudden?
There's a signal. out there.
Not really very much of
I'm
an
getting to it if
explanation.
you stop interrupting. It was broadcasting a list I recognized.
Oh, okay.
Shut
This
the
is
fuck
making
up.
more and more
Pointing.
sense.
Can't exactly chase down
Her
a
job-
war.
No, that does seem
So,
pretty impossible. And that means she needs to
Yeah.
get off the... Okay.
Boom.
Even from a distance, the shockwave from the explosions knocks you and Marsty flat on your backs. You pick yourself up, struggling to even get up to sitting. All around you, everything is on fire. Life, the smoke is choking, stifling. Life, you press forward, desperately looking for a way out. Life. Life, ahead of you, Marsty is shuffling forward like a zombie, stumbling through the smoke. Life, you try desperately to ignore the smell that's crawling up into your nostrils. Life. The first thing you see through the smoke that's choking your vision is the figure of Konya walking forward, like something out of a horror movie. You instinctively push yourself back.
What the fuck are you even doing here? You were supposed to be in the barracks waiting for our signal.
You feel like vomiting, not sure if it's from the faintly cooked meat smell coming from the burning airfield or the general horror of the day.
You fucking bastards.
Next to you, Marsty is already on her feet, advancing toward Konya. It doesn't work very well.
Oh, it's a
Konya's
completely
fist
different
connects
punch.
with the side of Marsty's head and she goes down, hard.
We don't have time for this.
Glad we're just as disposable to the revolution as the fucking Empire. I could have talked to them. They would have let us go.
Don't give me that bullshit. We're all killers. You think I'm going to just let my mom die? Let the stupid fucking Empire that pushover cronies do whatever they want?
Connell?
Shut up. The last thing I want is you sticking up for me.
Image Skyla _Nickelback fight shocked not found. She pushes herself to her feet again and shakes herself off, brushing the front of her uniform and glaring at Konya. Image Skyla
Doesn't matter.
_Nickelback
It's done
fight
already.
shocked not found.
We need to get out of here.
Image Skyla _Nickelback fight shocked not found. Skyla comes up from behind and grabs you by the scruff of the hoodie. Her tone is firm, but gentle.
We gotta go, okay? Not if you understand.
Image Skyla _Nickelback fight shocked not found. You nod. This sucks. Inside the ship, Skyla sits you down and straps you into one of the jump seats. Konya comes in right after, still covered in blood and soot. You really want to throw up right now.
You keeping your shit together? We're almost out.
You really want to respond, but you can't stop smelling the air outside, like barbecue. You retch. Was it always like this? Was it like this the last time you were on Alternia and you just didn't notice? Too busy getting wrapped up in your own personal problems to see what was right in front of you.
Systems are all online. We're ready to go.
Good. Get us the fuck in the air.
The ship lurches as Marsty pulls back on the control stick and jams the throttle forward. You close your eyes, count backwards from 10, and hope that the day will come when you'll stop seeing everything you just witnessed. Someday, one day, any day. With a roar, the engine comes fully to life and you're thrown back against the padded jump seat. All of the blood rushes right to the back of your head, which is a profoundly unpleasant feeling, but definitely a lot better than dying. You can feel your grip on consciousness slipping away.
Oh my dear reader. Do you honestly
No, this
tell
isn't
me,
right.
did you
What you were
not
looking
to
for.
worry?
Hey,
Well, you are now. You sit up with as much of a start as you can manage while strapped into the attack ship's restraints. Skyla is looking over at you, her face lined with concern.
you just kinda passed out for a minute there.
Happened when we punched out. Couldn't take.
You groan and look around groggily. How long were you even out for? From what little you can see of the cockpit window, you can see the edge of the sky, the point where the atmosphere of... Wait, Why aren't you going up
We're
any
landing
higher?
a little ways up ahead. Outside.
The ship pulls down. After 5 minutes of low-speed maneuver. Before anyone can say, Triza.
Don't get too excited. We're still not off this rock.
Selected. Konya, don't get too excited. We're still not. You know what, it doesn't even matter. You've had just about enough near-death experiences for now. You're looking forward to doing something that's a lot more low-key, maybe spending some time with an old friend who really knows how to just hang out and not get all wrapped up in an interstellar political conflict. Just chill vibes all around.
We gotta get going soon. Marsty, figure we can try and make contact with whoever counts for being in charge.
No.
What in the hell?
Marsty doesn't respond right away, and you can see her shaking as she clenches
Even
and unclenches
if
her
I
fists.
had wanted to in the first place, you think I'd go with you after?
Burning meat.
And save me whatever speech you have ready, whatever bullshit about acceptable losses.
It's not like that. It wasn't supposed to happen like that.
Really? Because I'm a stupid wiggler who will believe anything you tell her, right?
Skyla glances over at you quickly and you look away. You wish you knew what to say to make the situation better, but, honestly, it doesn't feel like something that can be better. All of this is going to make the next thing you have to say even more awkward, isn't it? Hey, so, you're actually planning to hang out with Marsty for a little bit longer.
Y'all suit yourselves.
You're
because
not
Connell
sure
and
what, Konya, fucking right? Let's get the hell away from this stupid place. I've got a mate Sprit to rescue. You're not sure that he necessarily needs rescuing, but you really don't feel comfortable saying anything to Konya. Honestly, she kind of scares you. More so today than ever before, if you're being really honest with yourself. Skyla turns to you, and there's something hollow in her gaze, the same haunted look behind her eyes that she had when you first saw her again.
You know we didn't have a choice, right?
Your gaze meets Skyla's, and you feel a strange feeling run through your body, a disconnected sense of unreality. She always has a choice, right up until the moment she's made it. Why does that sound so familiar to you? Skyla grimaces and looks down at the ground, shuffling and worrying a handful of her shirt in one hand.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I can understand why y'all don't want to stick around.
You're starting to respond, to let her know that it's definitely not like that. It's just that you and Marsty need to, but then you stop yourself. Because, deep down inside, maybe it is a little bit like that. You know that you barely knew these two before today, but the realization is hitting you pretty hard now. You really have no idea who they are.
I should go. Look, I'm sorry.
For a moment, you're left alone with your thoughts, and there's something that keeps coming back again and again. Did you ever find what you were looking for? What does that mean? What is it that you're looking for? Well, for one thing, you've still got a lot of your old friends to try to find. Every person you find, you get more and more worried about what'll be happening to the next one. If only you hadn't misgauged things so badly, maybe you could have avoided all this. You don't get any more time for quiet self-reflection, because Marsty shows up again.
You ready to go?
You stop her, if you're going to be traipsing around with her on this godforsaken rock satellite moon thing.
Figure I'll head out and find out what the source of this transmission is. If it's the rebels, that...
Unless it's the Empire, in which case they're more likely to just shoot you in the head. You hate to admit it, but she's absolutely
Last time we talked,
right.
we visited the dump.
So look, let's talk about that less, okay.
I
The
mean,
point is you've got a
not
big
really.
adventure to go
We're
on
just
now.
checking for a radio source.
Adventure?
Sure. Whatever you say.
Okay, I think I'm actually going to continue on from this one, as opposed to the other one.
Volume 3,
Illusion
Lest
one.
the Dust Becomes Us. We'll survive as soldiers of fortune. Writing: Jonah Uriley. Voice cast: Anna Marcus, Skyla. Bryce Hawkins. Bucky Grant, Konya. Do you want to, save
Yes,
slot
I
4,
would.
save slot 6, Saves. Save.
Revolution ending. I think I'm gonna keep trying for the revolution endings. I know it's not gonna
Save.
turn out well, but you know,
Save.
whatever.
File page 9. Next file page.
And oh, geez, how many pages do I have? Anyway,
Previous
so we'll get
file
into
page.
Volume, whatever it is, next time. So,
Next file page. Previous file page.
would that be? Yeah, we're starting number
Save.
4, aren't we? So, anyway, till next time, later.
Main menu. Save. Yes. Volume 11.